Hey, it's Chris Martin of the Content Marketing Academy, and in this video I want to talk about how you can measure the success of content marketing. Hey, it's Chris from the Content Marketing Academy here, and one of the questions we get asked a lot, workshops, seminars, when we're speaking to people one-to-one, the clients we're working with as well, they ask us, how can I measure the return on investment of content marketing, or how can I measure the success of content marketing? And there's quite a bit to this, so I'm going to go into detail and try and get across exactly how we would answer this question, or this set of questions. First of all, I think it's important that with any relationship, when it comes to content marketing, the people we're working with is with managing their expectations. If you've watched any of our other videos or read any of our blogs, we always talk about having a longer term perspective, and that's really important. And it's not to say that you won't get short-term results from your content, you will, but it's really realizing actually that you will get a lot of the better results will come in the longer term. Now, the expectations are fine, so it's just about sort of realizing that one blog article or one video or 3 or 4 videos won't actually result in what might be, a video every other day for 6 months, for example, that would result in, obviously, that compounding effect would have a much bigger result than just one single video or one single blog article or whatever it might be. So it's just understanding what expectation, understanding what's actually required, the effort, the patience, the blind faith that we've talked about before is actually, you've got to kind of go all in on this and just realize that you've got to do it for a longish period of time. It takes commitment and dedication and consistency to pull it off. And it's just making sure that those expectations are there from the word go. And that all comes down to, what's this got to do with return on investment or how to measure success? Well, you need to understand what you're getting yourself into. Also, you need to understand or have a really good understanding of where it is you want to be as well. So with anything you're measuring, if you're measuring success in your fitness, in your health, and anything that you do in life at all, you want to be working towards something. So it's really important that you understand or have a good understanding of where you want your business to be in 6, 12 or 18 months. And when I say that, it could be anything. For example, you might be thinking to yourself, well, we want to increase our average spend, right? So what's average spend now? What do we want it to be? What's the gap? How do we close it? How does that equate into content marketing? How do we work back from that? Or we want to have more customers. Well, how many customers do you want? What's the exact number? Let's work back from that. So there's this high level objective or high level vision about how you want to grow your business. And that comes back to ROI. So we're looking at money, we're looking at number of customers, or we're looking at income or turnover or profit or whatever we might be looking at, is to get a good idea of what those numbers are so they can figure out what the content that we're doing, the effort, the time, the patience, the investment of time and money we're putting into this is actually working towards, and that we can measure it on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. I think that's really important to have that. It's also important to say that there's not only return on an investment, but return on objective as well. So your objective might be, instead of talking about customers and money and turnover and finances, why don't we look at actually how could your organization become the industry leader for resources or knowledge base or the Wikipedia of your industry? Or how do you become a thought leader? How can we create more awareness of a cause? Or how can we make a bigger difference? How can we impact more people's lives, right? So that becomes more of an objective than an investment. It all comes back to, everything in business comes back to time and money. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's always about trying to figure out how to grow your business so you can impact more people, so you can have a sustainable business. That makes a lot of sense. That's what marketing is all about. But content marketing is about doing it in a way that helps rather than sells or creates some utility or usefulness around what it is you're trying to do. So I think it's really important to think about what that objective might be. Now, that's fine. So that's quite high level stuff. But really, one question might be when you're starting out on this is, how do we know anyone's actually reading or watching or listening to our content? How do we know anyone's listening to our podcast or watching our videos? We want to measure that at a user level, some indicators that sort of give us an understanding that someone is actually, or there are people that are listening to or watching or reading our content. So we might be simply looking at a lot of metrics on that user sort of level, that sort of bottom foundation level, shares, comments, tweets, retweets, that sort of thing. It might be things like visits to your webpage, measuring traffic, who's reading the blogs, who's sharing the blogs. Are people reading it? Are they listening to it? User indicators. Now, to take that up a level, we might be looking at things like that indicate that this person could be a potential prospect of ours. So some sort of signal that says that they're a little bit more interested in what it is that we've got to offer than other people. And that could be like a download of an ebook, or they've maybe signed up to your email course, or they've downloaded your white paper, or perhaps they've filled in some sort of survey or questionnaire, or they've done something basically that sort of says this person's a little bit more interested in other people. And what you can do at that stage is you can actually tailor how you serve your content as well. For example, they might download a case study or something, and then you note that they're interested, they may have a problem, you might have some content that you want to serve to people at that stage. And what you're starting to do is you're starting to see how people are coming into it. Content marketing sales funnel really is how people are getting more and more interested in what it is you've got to offer. They go from interest and awareness through to some sort of action, creating that desire for what it is that you've got, and you're serving content to them at the right time in order to attract them to what it is that you've got to offer over a period of time. So to be honest, when it comes to how can we measure content marketing success, at a very high level you're looking at, well, more customers obviously, but actually there's a lot more to it than that. And over time you want to be measuring these other metrics, these other key metrics that are important, that work towards your bigger goal. Just like anything in life, if you're going to the gym, for example, to do weight training, and you want to gain some sort of, I don't know, it could be a measurement around your muscles or whatever. I'm not into all of that. But my point is that if you go to the gym every single day or 5 times a week over a 6-month period, that's going to achieve great results for you. That compounding effect of that activity over that period of time. It's similar when it comes to content marketing. You invest in that, and the compound effect of 100 articles versus 12 once a month versus once a month versus 3 a month is massive. And it's huge. And the good thing is you can measure most of it as well. So if you're new to this is one of the big questions you've got, is that content marketing mainly, in the main, takes place on digital platforms. So you can measure a lot of these metrics. The danger is, though, that you overwhelm yourself with the metrics and the data. Pick 6, 8, 10 key metrics that are the things that you want to measure on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis that give you an indication that your content's working. And I think from that you can learn, you can develop, you can improve, you can change the way you do things in order to get better at this whole content marketing thing. So that's how we would approach, in a very fast video there, return on investment, or how can you measure the success of content marketing. There's quite a lot to it really, and it's just a case of making sure you're being smart with everything that you're doing and you are measuring everything. I hope that's been really helpful for you. If you've got any question about anything I've covered today, if you've got a content marketing question, you want it to be featured on one of these videos, just tweet me at chrismarr101 or email me chris@cmauk.co.uk, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Hope you've had a great day. Don't forget to be awesome.